And here we are, back after our latest Ironman trip to Ironman Arizona and Tempe, which was a necessary Ironman we needed to do. I, myself, and me. So, and just to finish this one off, where's this puppy here? This is what it looks like. Oh, I'm slowing down too much. All right, here we go. I know not to show it off, but this is what it looks like, guys. Ironman medal, Arizona. Maybe I should just write with it right now. Let people know that I finished. Okay, there you go. Let's do it like this today. So, Ironman Arizona, done and dusted. What a day in the books after having COVID just 14 days before the Ironman, which really sucked. I tell you that, really sucked. You're training so hard, and yeah, the last 14 days before an Ironman or before any race, you should dial it back 100%. But there's a little bit of resentment as you still want to test a little bit the limits, do some like quality workout, which you cannot do. That's the sad part. So yeah, that's unfortunate. However, we had to take the punches as they got thrown at us, and we did a full reset button 14 days before the Ironman, and me, myself, and I decided to take it easy, because this is not an Ironman where we need to qualify for Kona based on time. This is an Ironman which we just need to finish, and we did. The proof is in the pudding, and proof is right here. Boom! Thanks for the love, guys. The support you guys have given me over the months and weeks and days leading up to them Ironman. And I told you, even with COVID, which is, yeah, I don't want to like dramatize or play it up too much, the COVID thing, because COVID isn't any flu now these days, but it still like messes with you. And I tell you what, I got vaccinated like 4 weeks before that happened, so I actually don't exactly know how this all turns out, but maybe there was a fresh COVID flu I got there, which was not included in the last vaccination sample antibodies whatsoever. Okay, all done and dusted. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Ironman Arizona. What happened? How did it go? What's your time, Chris? And so on. Let's go right into it. So, yeah, my time was a reasonable. It was a reasonable time. I finished this puppy in 11 hours and 58 minutes. But how we got there was kind of a stretch, in my opinion. I have to say, training for swimming, besides going into the pool with my kids and just like making sure they're not drowning, that was it. Joseph Gross, 1 + 1. Yeah, thanks for the math. It's 2. I'm saying it to you, it's 2. So, besides the fact that I only went to the pool with my kids and they had fun in the wave pool, and me just swimming very quickly back and forth to them, just in case if they like swallow a little bit too much water as they would like to. So yeah, I'm that kind of father. They need to learn by experience. Especially swimming. Swimming you learn by experience. So throw them into deep water and they're gonna be just fine. They learn swimming. It's a mechanism of humankind. Actually, and did you know that when you throw a newborn into the pool, they actually swim like automatically somehow? Don't test it out, but look it up. These babies are like insane, but my kids are 4 and 5. They need to learn how to swim now on their own, and they're doing okay. They're in the process. I think they're just diving very much underneath the surface. They just to poke up their head and then they swim. So let's see. So they're still like being not as safe. So the swimming part in Ironman, 3.8 kilometers or 2.2 miles, or what is it actually? Is it 2.4 miles swim? I basically trained 0 meters. 0 meters swimming. It was all in my head. And the technique, how to swim. I mean, I'm a reasonable swimmer, I have to say that. Come on. I'm a reasonable swimmer. The cutoff time is 2 hours and 20 minutes. The pro swimming 2.2 miles or 3.8 kilometers in about 48 to 50 minutes. Okay. The better age group, my age group, compete, or my age groups which compete for corner shots, they're swimming an hour and 7 minutes, like roughly. So, and if I train, and I have done swimming, I trained swimming, I think like for 2 years, inside and out, I get a time of about 108, 106. That was the time when I really trained for it. I did not swim a meter for this race in my suit and whatsoever. So I came out of the water at 123. So I would say 15 minutes more. So I added 15 minutes to my swim time for not training at all swimming, and I'm freaking pleased with it. I was just happy. So despite the fact that this lake, or let's call it reservoir, which they have in Phoenix, which is desert area, is a man-made kind of like river. They just like put a dam on one end, collect the water, another wall here, and there's some still water here where we swam. Boy, was it dirty. Boy, was it dirty. It was so dirty that I was a little bit afraid of getting sick. You put in your hand and head in the water and you cannot see your hand in front of you. It was that brownish. So yes, it's desert land, and there are particles in the water which make the water a certain way. But I tell you what, when I came out of the water and rode a bike course, and we crossed that river a few times more upstream, what was swimming earlier there, garbage and stuff like that, and looked like sewage at one point. Yeah, I'm happy that I came out unscarfed. So yes, swimming 1 hour 23 minutes for 2.4 miles or 3.8 kilometers. Happy. Transition 7 minutes and I think 3 seconds or something. I have to admit this. The transition area was pretty big, so I think my time of 7 minutes, which include a pee break, was okay. I think it's pretty much standard. So I took my sweet time a little bit. Didn't rush it. I didn't slow down. So I took it Okay, so it's a standard time, I feel like, in transition. And then the actual race started for me. The bike part. Here we go. My time for 112 miles or 180 kilometers, I was aiming for 5:30 at least, 5 hours and 30 minutes, or quicker. Secretly, I wanted to break the 5-hour mark, which would be crazy, but I knew I didn't have the legs for it because of COVID. But I trained very good for the bike, so you saw me mainly on Swift, so yeah, I should have been okay with that. So the bike portion, 112 miles or 180 kilometers, took me 5 hours and 18 minutes. So overall, I'm very pleased with that result, with that bike split, which at this point would still put me in an impeccable position to qualify for Kona or run my butt off in the marathon, in the run part, right after that. So, but, yeah, here comes the big but. I was focusing so much on the bike part that I feel I a little bit overcooked it. Okay, enough of that. I'll leave that right here for you guys. There you go. All right, here we go. So, maybe not. Oh, come on. That will do. Okay. So I finished the bike in 5 hours 18 minutes, and it was a three loop course of 60 kilometers, or what is this in miles? For 45 miles a lap, something like that. It was a loop which took us out of the city, out onto the highway, which was a gradual kind of like climb. And I have to admit, the weather gods were really kind with me that day. It was overcast. I expected, because of its overcast, it would be muggy, but it was not. It was, I think, 27, 26, maybe out there 24 at some point, degrees Celsius, which is, I know, like in the 70s probably, Fahrenheit. And I was happy with the temperature. And on the way out of town, we had a tailwind pushing us slightly uphill, which I could feel, which was good, because I pushed uphill and on a downhill, we had gravity made its best out of my overweight body weight, but we had like wind ahead of us, which was okay. Lots of aero positions, so I tried to be as aero as possible going downhill. And I rode this course with a disc wheel, which was, in my opinion, a big advantage. So, disc wheel was good. I liked it. Ma, 86, go! Yes, I'm doing it, I'm going. I just have to stay ahead of my halo somehow. He's doing a good job going up that bridge. I'm coming, I'm going. So, the bike part was great. I nailed the nutrition on this one. Boy, was I good with it. Martian, say thank you. Yes, I digest Martian gels very well, and I basically took gels every 20 to 30 minutes, and then it was some combination of Martian 160 or Martian 100 with caffeine, and I really did a good job there. So, having said that, I was okay with that. Can we put this around so people see what's up? I don't know. Whatever. So, nutrition was great, weather was great, bike split came together. The day after it was pouring rain in Phoenix, which would be detrimental for the race. It was the last edition of Ironman Arizona, and I know why. The water quality, it's a big question mark, guys. Boy, I will not swim in this water under different conditions. And there might have been, in these 20 years this race was on, conditions which may or may not put some bacteria in this water. So, having said that, happy I didn't get sick. Swim was great, bike was great, but I overcooked the bike a little bit. So I came off the bike, I had a reasonable transition time again. I would say similar to the one, maybe a little bit shorter. I would say probably like more like six minutes ish. 6 minutes ish to transition from bike to run. The run was a sufferfest. Yeah, you know, I didn't run that much over the last months, as I spent more time, you know, racing on Swift, having fun on the bike. I think the longest I run was like 18 kilometers leading up to the race. But I wish I would have done more intensity. So intensity meaning longer runs more often. So I wasn't there. I wasn't there with the pace. And to be honest, the first 15 kilometers, the first 10 miles went well. It went well. I was running, and sorry that I don't run miles, but I ran the kilometer in about 5 minutes 20, which was all right for my pace. But after kilometer 15, I felt the overcooked bike session I did. So I had to bail out a little bit and start walking the 8 stations to really get fuel in and to make sure I pace the marathon in a way that I can survive this. So I dropped another. I run from 15 kilometers to like 30 kilometers probably like in a 6-minute pace, which included running, but walking the aid stations and making sure I get the nutrition fueling I needed to survive that. Half marathon was the point where the sun was slightly going down in Arizona. Yeah, it goes down early, but I was okay with it. My wife at this point, Chris, look at the sunset. Look at the sunset. This might help you. Yeah, it wasn't helping at all. I still suffered. So this was a sufferfest all the way through. And to be quite honest, at some point I said, you know what? If I have to walk the whole thing, I would do it. It never crossed the thought that I would give up. I'm not like a give up, quit kind of guy. So I decided to go for it. And make this one worthwhile. What kind of jersey is that one? Mander. Looks like coalition jersey. So from the half marathon mark onwards, I decided to walk more and more, and I decided to walk uphill and try to open up my stride on downhill, which worked out more or less. So I was pleased with that, and was then at this point just suffering through, trying to make the run sections last longer than any walking sections. And what happened, and I finished the marathon in 5 hours and I think 5 minutes or something, 5:03. So yeah, at least an hour longer than I anticipated. I would have loved to see a 10:58 there, but at the end it was 11:58. That's your Ironman time for Ironman Arizona, Chris. So that was it. At the end you get a nice shirt, polyester shirt, nothing special, very much unique throughout the year, as Ironman probably purchased one backpack model and brands it this year. Same thing for the shirts, it just puts different logos on it for each race separately, and that's it. Let's stay with Amanda. Can I shout out you? I could. Casey Squirt. I know. Something like that. Sure. What's up? What's all about with the shout out, man? Happy you're here. Thanks for coming along for the ride. It's Friday, guys. You know what? I'm not pushing it. Come on. Still zone 2 right here. That's good. So yeah, first time on the bike back. It feels good. You know, it's something you're always worried about in these like Ironmans. And that's the way to and from the race. When your bike is in the box in pieces, which is normally not its natural habitat, yeah, you always worry that it's being handled wrong, and you arrive at an Ironman or in a race and you really have to shuffle. It's brutal. So yeah. So here we go, back in the saddle in New York City. Hoagie, Himanak. What the hell is going on here in the chat? Seems like all bots coming in. So we're riding today 35k to check off another batch here. And maybe we should bring in some more stats as well as some music, because it's getting there now. Yeah, same sentence. Jasmine, what's up, man? Jasmine May on Audi. So I don't tell my wife, but I got myself new armpits. No, not new armpits. Like pads for my elbows to rest on. Panels. They work very well. Shout out to Tri-Rig. Tri-Rig is something you might want to give it a shot. Just man, be nice, buddy. Be nice. I don't know. Overships, just clip and send it to your wife. I have no idea what you mean with that. So in regards to my bike spin on the Ironman Arizona, Also, we're trying to use, we are trying to use technology, and I asked ChatGPT beforehand, it's like, hey, in order to write 530, 520, what do I need to do? And I put in all my Ironman stats and other bike splits I did, other races as well, FTP, and so on. And I came up with 180 watts over 5.5 hours to push that, to get that time consistently. To my luck, I only had to push 147 watts to over like 5 hours and 18, as this was affected by tailwind going uphill. So I'm very happy with that I didn't have to push that hard. But in hindsight, would I have pushed harder? I probably would have come closer to my time I really wanted to have. But if I would have pushed to close to 5 hours, I would probably had to pay that in the first half of the marathon and would have been walking. So what's next? What's next? There's a half Ironman coming up next year in May. The last event I need to tackle to unlock my legacy program, Ironman Championship Kelowna spot. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Okay, 20k left, and we have Ironman is hard. Yes, it is. It can be. It is. Full distance Ironman is hard as hell, I'll tell you that. Half Ironmans, I think, are kind of fun because you're actually more racing. Full Ironmans, it's more the fight against yourself than against the other athletes. So I will try to give Ironman, half Ironman Victoria next year a real good shot in terms of like speed, as it is kind of like my home turf. The bike part is on a course which I should normally know, but I don't ride it. I drive on it. I know the road more or less. It's a little bit technical, some corners, but it's all doable. And then there is the run, which is around Beaver Lake, which is a course I've done several times. The swimming part of an Ironman near me is the hardest part. Hoverships, the swimming part of an Ironman near me is the hardest part. Which Ironman is that? Which Ironman, the swim part is the hardest? Cordon Lake. Cordon Lake. What makes it so hard? Is it the temperature of the water? Or is there a current? What's the deal with it? I have not done this Ironman. Which Ironman is it? That would be good to know. Is it a full or it's an Ironman in the Pacific Northwest? Okay, yeah, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. There's a natural wake, and it's very cold. Okay, wake lake. Okay, I could see that. Yeah, cold water is always hard to deal with, as your body needs to spend extra energy to stay warm, even though you're wearing the wetsuit. So I could see that. So it would be cold and a current in there. That would be something. So, do you know the name of the Ironman? What is it called? Or is it a half a full Ironman? Maybe you can say that half Ironman such and such, or full Ironman such and such. Like this Ironman Arizona, actually, by the way, was my first Ironman in the United States. You won't believe it, huh? There's so many Ironmans out there. After 20 years, I have avoided that country. And there's so many in the US. So many, let's say, quick ones. Like Placid. Florida is quick. Arizona was quick. So, if you want to have a challenging Ironman, do Ironman Lanzarote. This one is very close to Hawaii, but I believe it's more climbing. Okay, there you go. Ironman 7.3, half Ironman, which holds the Coeur d'Alene Lake as swimming part, which is 1.2 miles of swimming, or what is it, like 2.4 kilometers? No, how many kilometers is this? 1.8, I feel like 1.8 kilometers swimming. So okay, fair enough. So half Ironmans I might explore for myself, as at one part the training is not like super excessive. The times, yeah, you're torching yourself over like 4 or 5 hours for sure. But what I don't like is Ironman 70.3 only qualifies for Ironman 70.3 championships, which just happened in Marbella, Spain. Fair enough, but I want to do like the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is Kailua Kona. This is what I'm in for the last 20 years. Yeah, I never really got close to it. Actually, at one point I came close to it. Yeah. I think it's one of my first Ironmans, Ironman Klagenfurt in Austria. I came close to it with my finishing time, and I was probably 18 minutes off the Kona slot. 18 minutes. Yeah, that was that. All good. All good. 18 minutes is a lot. But I think I was, back in the day, I was in the category like 18 to 25. And I think there weren't that many people in it. I think I raced against like maybe 20 people. in my category, and I came, I think, 4th or 5th, and only one or 2 slots were available. And obviously, yeah, some people they do an Ironman, they're already qualified, or they cannot do it because it's a big money grab as well. Tell you that. So yeah. Ironman 70.3 Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, there are like tons of Ironmans out there worldwide for sure. So lots of opportunities to qualify. But yeah, it's tough getting that one slot. Make your dreams come true. You really have to be one of the best of the best to qualify for the World Championships. And boy, these guys are workhorses. Both man and woman will qualify by time in your age group, respectively. So I'll tell you what, like I'm doing Ironman races outside your community is always a very cost-intensive trip. Hotel, bike box, flight tickets, and you make it more or less a family vacation, which is not really a vacation for you or for the family. They're working a lot on that day, as well as you are who are participating. So it's a sports trip which costs a lot, so it's an expensive hobby. Doing less of them is better. If you can wing it and you have the capital, good for you. And I see it as testing grounds for myself all the time, as I'm trying to stay fit, provide for my family, as well as give my family a husband or dad who stays fit and who can do lots of exercise and activities for a long time. Back to racing, back to Swift, which I dearly love. And besides that, I decided to go with a proper Swift Ride smart frame. So it's coming. I will probably get one. I will stop or retiring this puppy here, which is my race bike as well as my Swift bike, which has done phenomenal over the years. It's been 15 years or longer. Yeah, 15 years since I have it, and it's been quite good to me. And it's probably time for a new owner, or someone who doesn't want to spend that much but will get a rig which has done phenomenal over the years, and I will give it to somebody for a good price and with good material. All right, boom. Chula. Off on. Chula. Team YouTube. No, actually I'm not Team YouTube. In regards to this Ironman, actually I was very happy that I did small upgrades all over the ride. One thing is, clean your cassette. Big time. Big time. Another thing, put a new chain on. I have not done that for a while. And boy, is this a difference. My chain has been years and years in the works, and this new one is a delight. It really like glides through the teeth. There's no rubbing. It's just on point again. I did a little upgrade. I actually replaced the pulley wheel at the bottom of my rear derailleur with a bigger one. I think from 10, 11 to 12 teeth or 13 teeth. So I put a bigger one on there, and runs like a jiffy. I'll tell you that. Runs like a jiffy. What else? That's it. The pads, the arm pad, where I rest my elbows on it, are wider, longer, more comfortable for what I have. great investment, I tell you that. For me right now, I actually enjoy, I really enjoy going down in drops now here. I feel my bike position is still not optimal. I feel I could be doing so much better, putting out the power. I still think I'm a little bit too low on the saddle. But I will find out. As soon as I have the Swift bike, I will dial this one in as best as possible and see what's up. As this one I'm maxed out with the seat post, I think it's cut too short. What an idiot I am. Back then, yeah, save weight. No, don't save weight. You take yourself away an opportunity when you grow. Another one on a steel frame. Thanks for right on. For the follow back. Right back. So now we're going home here, 27K done. There are 8K left. They say it's about an hour. The difficulty is like 5 out of 5, which is okay. I think I did it good. Zone 2 right here. Great company. Thank you so much, Hover Ships, for coming into the chat. We appreciate your insight. these guys couldn't crush all of them because they don't have the room. They only came down to there. Hey, Kalu.
Bring the beats with Premium. Download and bring your music anywhere, so you can dance high-quality music without hearing ads. Mix up your playlists with song recommendations from Smart Shuffle, or take control of your listening with unlimited skips and repeats. Experience music without limits.
Okay, last push here. And that's it, that's the top. That is the top. Didn't get him. Man, how smooth this ride is now. It's crazy. What a difference it makes. Not a long finish stretch here. Oh boy. You go ahead, buddy. Viva la Spain. Here comes my wife. Right on time. Me sweaty in the garage. She loves it. Not. Alright guys. That was my first session back of the Ironman Arizona. Conclude, yes, this race was a mandatory race. We finished in 11 hours, 58 minutes, 123 swim, 5:18 bike, and the marathon was 5:43, a sufferfest, with some minutes spared in the transition areas. Having said that, happy and pleased and very grateful that I could do the race, and I'm back on Swift training for the half Ironman, the last chapter to qualify for Kona World Championships. Alright, here we go. Thank you so much guys for coming in, and I see you on the next one for sure. Cheers, bye bye.